to be honest.
I can't go live on TikTok. Wait, guys, make sure you.
Hey, what's good? Y'all welcome to the Sosa program. We going live up in here. We hyphy up in here.
Hey, make them look at it. Hey, make them look at. Zoom in on the phone. Watch this.
All right, let me zoom in. He want me to zoom in. We gonna zoom in. What you doing over there?
I just flew.
Huh?
I just flew from a.
Oh, you having fun. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to OPMGlobal.tv. This is the Sosa program, and we're actually about to show an introduction video on YouTube about how drones fly and what makes drones stay in the air and all of those things, the basics. So let's start the video real quick. Everybody's attention. Avery, can I have your attention too?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's watch this video real quick.
I'm gonna pause it. I paused Fortnite.
That's all good.
I paused Fortnite.
Love, you might have to cut the volume up on that video as well.
I can't hear you.
Be quiet, little boy.
Baby, don't.
Hi, I have.
That's family. We're not gonna talk to y'all kids like that. No, but we're a real life structured program, man. And you know what? I thank all of these kids for being here, even though some of my family. You know, Sosa is a family organization, and what we're out here trying to do is promote digital literacy. We want to teach these kids about the components of how and why these technologies are so important in our society. So, program, please start one of those videos up, nephew. And then somebody needs to be the cameraman for right now, because I can't.
I will.
You will next time. You will. Everybody's gonna get a turn to have some responsibility.
Hey.
Yep, you're a here. So maybe you're in the market for a drone. Maybe you've already got one. In either case, good for you. I was also in the market for a drone. The guys at DJI sent me a Mavic Pro.
So we will give citations for what we got these videos and the names. It's all for educational purposes.
About how to fly a drone. Hashtag register your drone. It used to be that if your drone weighs more than 0.55 grams and less than 55 pounds, you needed to register it with the FAA. But it looks like that is no longer the case. You only need to register it if you're flying your drone commercially. However, the website still says you have to register even as a hobbyist. Now, I'm not sure what the regulations are in other countries. You'll have to look them up wherever you live. Intro drones. The more expensive drones almost fly themselves with the positioning hold, self-leveling, elevation hold, etc., etc. But if the GPS fails on these drones, most new pilots are not capable of dealing with the manual control and handling the wind drift. The cheap quadcopters force you to learn how to fly.
Right.
I started with the Sky Viper
Let me know when it's done.
1700. My first flight, I crashed it 3 times in under 9 minutes. I know it was in 9 minutes because that's how long the battery lasted. I quickly realized just how much the wind can knock your drone around. Just hovering in place was a challenge. A quick note about starting with cheaper drones. The flying experience is not the same as with more expensive drones. I'd say flying anything smaller than a foot would not be very useful for practice. Simulator. When you're just getting started with this drone business, it's much better to crash a computer simulated drone than a real one. I used the Sky Viper simulator until I got used to the drone. When I switched to the Mavic, I also used their simulator in the DJI Go app. I do not know what it is, but people get their drones and they like to go right into their backyard and fire them up without even taking a look at the manual. It's a really good idea to familiarize yourself with the settings. Real talk. Open areas. Your first flight should be in an open area. If there's any incident, more than likely nobody's gonna get hurt. By open area, I mean like a football field or a park with no more than like a handful of trees around. People and power lines should not be an issue for you. The idea is to practice a lot in no-risk or low-risk situations until you feel more comfortable. While strong winds are great for handheld gliding, they are not so great for drone flying. I try and fly when the wind is no more than 15 miles per hour. Any more than that, you're just going to end up with shaky footage. You also want to minimize electronic interference. Don't fly near radio stations or cell towers, Wi-Fi hotspots. These things can interfere with the communication between the drone and the remote. Wouldn't want any flyaways. Drone safe areas. There are a ton of no drone zones. Typically, they're airports, military bases, national parks. You can get into a lot of trouble if you're flying into one of these areas. You can find places that you can legally fly in using the Hover app. It's FAA approved, super simple to use, shows you the areas that have temporary or permanent restrictions. You can also use the Before You Fly app, which is the FAA's app, I believe, but it's kind of boring. I mean, Hover's way better. The DJI Go 4 app also has the restricted flight areas feature, which shows you where restricted areas are. The Mavic Pro also comes with the no-fly zones feature, which pretty much prevents you from flying in restricted areas. Pre-flight checklist. If you have any gimbal covers or clamps for your drone, make sure you remove them. Make sure your propellers are secure, give them a spin. Make sure your battery is in place and secure. If you have any fans or air intakes, make sure there's no debris or anything obstructing them. Take a look at the gimbal, make sure it's straight. If it looks cockeyed or funky, you might have a problem. Also your lens, make sure that puppy's clean. Worse than finding fingerprints and smudges all over your footage. Takeoff and landing. Takeoff and landing can be very problematic for beginners because of the ground effect. This is when the ground itself interrupts airflow blowing down from the propellers, resulting in a vacuum. When this happens, things can get a little hairy, so be careful. You might want to just practice taking off and landing first. Get a good feel for it. Hover. Hovering can be harder than it's especially when it's a windy day. Mastering the hover allows you better control over your aircraft and also allows you to shoot better aerial videos and pictures. The first 3 times I launched my drone, I just practiced hovering at 3 to 5 feet in the air and then landing. I wanted to get a good feel for how sensitive the throttles are. Basic movements. Keep your movements small and smooth. Don't do anything elaborate until you really get a handle of the controls and the sensitivity. If your drone has a beginner mode, use that for a while. This mode usually caps your speed and altitude. My first 4 flights were in beginner mode. If you have a DJI drone, you might also have tripod mode. It slows your movements to a cinematic pace, but it's also really great for beginners who want to practice without all that speed. There are a few flight exercises you can do to familiarize yourself with the controls. Fly in a square. Using just the right stick, fly in a square with the drone. This is going to get you really familiar with the roll and the pitch. Fly in a circle. You'll have to use both sticks for this one. If you can fly in a circle, you will have come a long ways with controls. You should be at least 5 to 10 feet in the air for this. Keep doing this until you're comfortable flying in a circle in both directions. Fly in a figure 8. Flying in a figure 8 teaches you how to balance yaw, pitch, roll, and throttle controls while switching from the drone's nose pointing away from you and toward you. This will definitely help you get used to accurately controlling the drone no matter which direction it's facing. Now there is such a thing as headless mode. Do not use it for this exercise. That would be cheating. Crash! It happens to the best of us. In order to prevent a single crash from ruining your entire day, be prepared. Get a few extra propellers, maybe get a few extra batteries. Many drones have obstacle avoidance built into them. You should be aware of what areas are actually covered with this and which areas aren't. The Mavic Pro, for instance, has obstacle avoidance for the front and the bottom of the drone, but not for the back, the sides, or the top. Obstacle avoidance is not perfect, people. It can be thrown off by a few things, so do not rely on this as your primary means of crash prevention. If you want evidence of this, there are quite a few videos out there on YouTube of people crashing their drones relying on obstacle avoidance. I definitely advise getting whatever care or replacement plans you can get from the manufacturer. The extra money is definitely worth it because if you do crash this bad boy, more than likely the repairs you're getting will only be at a fraction of the cost as opposed to what you would be paying if you did not have one of these plans. Rules and laws. We got rules. What else is new? They're there for a reason, so don't be that guy or that gal. A few notables include: do not fly over people, airports, national parks, stadiums, or anywhere where a descending drone could cause harm. Keep your drone within eyesight. Never fly higher than 400 feet above the ground or 120 meters. Return to a home position with plenty of battery power in case of emergency.
It's like a race car.
Emergency. Wherever you are, be sure to look up the regulations first so you know what's legal for your state or country or wherever. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I will leave links to the Mavic Pro and the Sky Viper drones that I used in the description section. Well, that's all that I got for you. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like or subscribe. I also do one-on-one chat sessions.
Was that
If there's
informative?
something
Did you guys
you're
learn anything,
interested
or
in,
did he just
bring your filmmaking or YouTube questions, I will leave a link in the description section with more info on that. I do believe that's all that I got for you. Deep it out.
They would make a total of 6 stops on this traverse, collecting samples from large rocks.
Pizza.
Hungry and thirsty. Don't get the pretzel pizza. Just get pepperoni.
Hey guys. Oh, it's
I had that yesterday. I don't want it.
Hey,
So guys, I have both.
are you on a drum? You're trying to hack.
What? Do we need to watch it this one? Yeah, but we have no secret. Which one will? Oh, I have everything.
Alright, guys.
I was
Guess it's over.
hacking something.
Alrighty then. So,
Oh,
Hacking
How's it
some.
going, everybody?
what I've been
I've
doing this time.
Hacking some reviews. All darn it. All darn it. I forgot. I didn't know.
watch, and then what you want to do is live when no people are watching.
Apple
No,
iPhone.
it says 100,000. Stop.
Just enough to make sure everybody's okay.
There's not much time in, so be quiet. Nope, you do it. I'm gonna play some Fortnite. No. Yes.
No. Hey, I'm gonna play some Fortnite with you. Hype. 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 He's hype.
You said you don't even know. You don't even know. Carlos.
Video ended.
Request me. I'm going on Fortnite.
Whose puppy is that?
Huh?
R. There's.
What's the name? His name? Gio.
Nah, he got the picture. You
It finished.
One of the first pictures I was holding him, you was in the picture.
It's finished.
It's finished?
What's
Alright, okay. Alright, so
You don't remember me?
let's go ahead and I'm sorry. So what we're gonna do, we're about to get some pieces together. But let's follow me into this other one. I'm gonna give you guys a quick little tour.
Where's your sister at?
Oh, it's in this room. With dogs drawings on it.
So this is the
The
room.
drone that they had on there.
This is the room that I record in. And this is also one of the rooms that we use for the kids to have their fun. And these are some of the drones. I got the Monopoly out, but look, as y'all see, there's plenty of board games.
You like this drone, guys?
Ooh.
Because this is the drone I'm going to be flying because I have the school.
Is it?
Yup. This is my drone.
Gianni.
My drone.
So,
Okay, finish your drone.
how the heck did you
Hey, this is
Hey, Gianni bought him a pit.